What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and I want to welcome you to the wonderful beginning of the All Hail the King segment from Podcast Past. I think that kind of has a Charles Dickens A Christmas Carol vibe to it, but I know you're probably thinking, whoop-de-doo, what does it all mean, Basil? Well, basically what we're going to do right here on the second channel is to put up all the past All Hail the King segments that were previously featured on the From the Helicarrier podcast. Now this is an idea I already ran by Charles, and we thought it would be great because it's kind of a way to bring together all of our different outlets, eventually encompassing all of our different projects, and ultimately building an even bigger and well-connected community. My main channel and the From the Helicarrier podcast will remain the same. However, here on this second channel with this playlist, I believe we can accomplish a few goals. First of all, this will be a way for anyone who may have missed past podcasts to catch up on the All Hail the King segment starting from the very beginning. But it's not just going to be the old audio. There are 52 in total, and with each one I'm going to do a brand new introduction, and then we're going to have entirely new video. With that, we're going to revisit all the old ideas and teams, and we'll find out they're still viable in today's PvP. Some of them may fail miserably now, and who knows, others may just work better than ever. Since there are 52, we're going to try to do 2 to 3 a week, so either on Wednesday and Friday, or quite possibly every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do want to upload these, that way I can provide new and regular content to this channel, and also so you can listen to the old segments as well as see brand new video, but the goal isn't to catch up to the podcast. For any of the current segments, you'll still want to go check out thehelicarrier.com. And also you can check us out at www.blogtalkradio.com/FromTheHelicarrier. So with that introduction to the series over, future intros will deal more with the episode itself, but for this one I just want to say this was with my old semi-broken headset. It was before I got the new mic, so I do apologize for that, and I did think about re-recording it, but you know what, I want to stay true to the original, and the only way we can see how far we've come is by looking back at where we were. So yes, once again the first few segments will be with the old distorted headset mic, but after that I got a brand new mic, and just everything gets better, trust me. There are going to be some really good segments, especially for any of you who haven't heard them. And you know what? This is kind of like a history lesson looking back. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You've already been watching the concept from the segment, but of course with new current PvP footage. And now I'm going to roll the original audio. Without any further delay, let's go ahead and listen to the very first All Hail the King segment ever recorded.
What is going on, everybody? It's the Kingfisher745, and this is the inaugural All Hail the King segment, which you can only find here on the From the Helicarrier podcast. And let me just say I'm very happy to be a part of this podcast, and I'd like to thank Agents Ibbett and McFall for the invitation. Since this is the very first time that I'm doing this segment, I just want to quickly introduce it. In case you're not familiar with me, I do have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/thekingfisher745. There you'll find all sorts of videos dedicated to Marvel Avengers Alliance, including an all-new playlist titled All Hail the King, which will complement this segment, and you'll want to check that out about a day after this podcast airs. In this segment, I'm going to introduce to all of you a powerful new team, setup, or weapon combination that should greatly help you in PvE and have you crushing the competition in PvP. This week's powerful combination focuses on a weapon that you can get right now for free, no gold required, and it's found in Season 2. And that weapon is the Revolt 5. Now the Revolt 5 is the challenge mode version of this weapon, and you can find it in Season 2, Chapter 2, Mission 6. That means it is a premium mission, so you will need Scarlet Witch to unlock it. And then in order to get this version, you must run it on challenge mode. And it does drop off of the epic boss, so you'll need to complete all of the deploys, which includes Iron Man, Nightcrawler, and Tigra. Once you have it, what makes this weapon special is it is a ranged multifunction item that has 6 ammunition, and it can be fired as a quick action as long as you have ammunition left. So this weapon allows you to fire it 6 times for free and then you can still attack normally, or do whatever action you would normally do with your agent. Then the multifunction part of this weapon allows you to reload it, but it's at the cost of your turn. So this probably looks good on paper, but not great because after you get those first 6 shots, then you would have to waste your agent's next turn. Well, this is what I've done with this weapon dating all the way back to the last PvP season. I've teamed my agent up with Generalist Angel, the character that most of us got for free in a past PvP tournament. So hopefully you do have him, but if you don't, you could also use Cable, and many of you may see where I'm going with this. It involves giving your agent an extra turn. Now I love Generalist Angel most for this, because he's going to give you back-to-back turns with his Rapture ability. And since he is a Generalist, he can equip the Inspiring Empowered ISO weight, which gives the entire team morale boost. But Cable can also provide an extra turn. And I actually have used both of these characters, that way I can make sure my agent gets an early turn. In just a moment I'll walk you through a turn with this weapon setup. But first I do want to mention a couple little tips and details. When running this setup I love using the Empowered Infiltrator armor, so if you have that you may want to try it out as well. The reason for this is because you can give yourself combat reflexes, and then all your attacks will be stealthy. Meaning on my agent's turn I can fire the Revolt 5 at whatever character I want, regardless of protection, and also without fear of counterattacks. If you don't have this armor, that's totally fine. You can use whatever class you feel goes best with your team. And then as far as your other weapons and gadgets, you can use something that'll increase your attack, and something that'll do a pretty big hit on the opponent. You'll want a heavy hitting weapon because after you fire the Revolt 5 6 times, you then get to attack normally. Other than those 2 to 3 items, you can just equip whatever will keep your team alive, especially your agent. So for example, the Mystic, the Cube, a healing item, or anything like that would be completely fine. And in the video that will be released tomorrow, you'll be able to see some of the weapon and item setups that I used. Now the last thing I want to do is walk you through a typical first round for this team. If Angel goes first, you can use his Rapture ability, and that will give your agent back-to-back turns on the next round. Then Angel will also get another attack because his level 2 Rapture is a quick action, so you should use his level 1 Absolution. This not only does damage, it has Rising Up, so it could give your agent Strengthened, which will really help out that Revolt 5 damage. Then on your agent's turn, you can fire the Revolt 6 times, and then attack with your regular weapon. Often by this point I've finished someone on the other team. It does that much damage. Of course this will vary depending on your level, your armory bonus, and your blaster bonus. Now let's go ahead and skip to the second round. Angel will miss his turn, but when your agent gets his turn, he will have an extra one to work with. So for his first turn, he can go ahead and reload the Revolt 5, and for his second turn, he can fire it 6 more times, and then attack as normal. The advantage of this is that with the Revolt 5 and those 6 shots on your second round, you can pick and choose who you need to fire on. So anyways, I'm going to have to wrap things up here, so you'll just have to tune into the video to see this all in action. Thank you for listening, and now I'll send it back to the hosts.